Another Hammond organ key. This is the B key. It sold for $3. This is another vintage model from the hobby collection. This is a 61 Ford F100. And in case you didn't know, these there are professional model builders out there. This one was built by a professional, very highly detailed, and even has the triple carburetors hopped up Ford F100. And this built model sold for $150. Another vintage model. This one was made in 1969. It's a Henry J Dragster. What I thought was cool about this one was it came with the promotional material, including this build your own Apollo moonship for 10 cents. And I remember I built this. I ordered this, came in the mail. It was pretty tiny, but I was just I was a space age kid. I loved everything to do with the manned rocket missions to the moon. In any case, this sold for $40. This is a JanSport backpack that I found actually last year. A couple dollars at a garage sale. A little bit of wear and tear to it, not much. But it did take forever to sell. I actually priced it at $40 and took a best offer this morning of $30. I just wanted to quick show something I found on Craigslist. It was advertised as a console speaker with a keyboard. So I inquired about it, asking for a brand name, and when they wrote back that it was a Vibra chime, I looked it up, and one had sold for $1,400. So I went out and looked at it. It was about a 40-mile drive. And it's really cool. It's got this tiny little keyboard. This is used in churches. And there's tiny little tubular bells that sound like chimes, and they're amplified. And then they're broadcast to a speaker in this cabinet, and also to an outdoor speaker. I'm sure you've heard many churches with their chimes going. They're just small chimes, but they're amplified. I'm going to clean this up and see what I can get for it. These JBL speakers were at a garage sale, advertised for $20, and I got them for $5 because it was the second day of the sale. And even though these are modern, more modern JBLs, it's still one of the best names in speakers. Older ones can bring thousands of dollars. But this little pair of bookshelf speakers, these sold for $100. This is a Newsboy cabbie style hat. Herringbone tweed pattern on it. Pretty nice shape. And this sold for $21. Just 50 cents at a church sale. This is a color monitor from an Apple IIe system that I picked up at an auction just 2 days ago on Wednesday. I bought the base unit that included a couple of disk drives, this monitor, and a printer. I got it all for $60, although the base unit cost me $50, and I may have gotten it a lot cheaper if I would have waited, but I was bidding against somebody that I thought wanted the same thing, and turned out they wanted something else on the table. Well, I got the other two pieces, this monitor and the printer, for $5 a piece. So $60 invested, and I put this unit up for sale for $250. I'd seen one sell for $300, but that included free shipping. And this sold within just a few hours. And then he wrote me and he said that he'd pay me $50 if I'd pull the video card from the base unit. So I did that, gave him a special listing, and he paid right away another $50 for the video card. So $300 for this $5 color monitor and the video card. Another built model sold. This is, I think, a reproduction of the '64 Mercury Comet Caliente. And it's sort of an amateur job, not a professional, but it still sold for $60. It was late July when I came across this seller who had a table full of Harley-Davidson stuff, including 7 pairs of these gloves They're very long. They're sort of a raw canvas or suede type material, especially along the cuff here, and branded Harley-Davidson. And I got all 7 pair for $20. And I didn't see any listed, but I saw some similar, they called them gauntlet gloves for riding, and they were getting $60, $70, $80 a piece. So I priced these, I believe, at $80 to start with, and no offers. And I was hoping with Sturgis coming up in the near future at the time that I would sell a few at that high price. But then I finally did some more research a few weeks later without any sales, and I saw somebody had a pair of these, and they called them welding gloves, and that kind of clicked with me. These are more of a industrial welding glove with Harley-Davidson brand on them, and they were selling theirs for $15 to $20. So I priced mine at $25, and I finally got an offer of $20 for this pair, and this is the first pair to sell. So I've got my money back. Hopefully we'll sell the rest at a good profit. This is a Voice of Music vintage microphone, and a little research told me that Electro Voice made this microphone, and I found this at an estate sale just in a $2 box of junk, and I often find those in the garage or the basement, and you can find some interesting electronic items in those $2 boxes of junk. And this sold for $40. These are 5 small die-cast Mustang Cobra 2s, different stylized bodies of some of them. Johnny Lightning. I have many boxes like this full of these little cars, and they don't sell for a lot by themselves, and I've started lotting them together when I can find, like these are all Cobra 2s. And these 5 cars sold for $40. This is a vintage leather trucker's wallet. I've done well with these in the past. I haven't found many lately. I think I have a couple I haven't listed yet. I should get around to doing that because I seem to get pretty good money for them. This one's tooled leather. Typical multi-pocket design, and the chain with the belt loop. And this sold for $90. Another model from the vast hobby collection sold. This is a Galaxy 500, 1964. This is actually a reproduction model of a Ford promotional model that they gave out in 1964. I guess there's such a call for these. You can tell they're promotional models because they have highlights of the vehicle imprinted on the chassis like this. And if this were an actual promotional model, it'd be worth over $100. But this kit sold for $40. These are Timberland hiking boots. I found these while I was just driving by a St. Vincent de Paul. Stopped in, got them for $4, and they sold for $60. Pretty good shape, size 12. Another 5-pack of this 110 film sold, vintage. Expiration is about 15 years ago, but apparently people still want it. I bought a whole box full of this for about $10. Maybe I have 50 cents a piece into each of these 5-packs, and this sold for $25. This is a vintage Sears Permapress shirt. Still in the original packaging. I found this about a year ago at a garage sale for just $1. I priced it at $30, and finally I got a best offer of $25. This is a manual for a pair of Pioneer SE205 headphones. The big over-the-ear cans from the 70s. I found this in a just a junk box at a estate sale for a couple dollars for the whole box. Included some microphones and stuff. Sold quite a few hundreds of dollars out of that little box, which I always search for when I'm at an estate sale, usually in the basement on a shelf. And just this little 2-page instruction manual sold for 10 bucks. This is another HO gauge locomotive, diesel locomotive. This one is badged Milwaukee Road. And this sold for $60. This is a classic trucker hat. The patch on it reads, I believe it's pronounced Simple Meats. As a vegetarian, I'm not that familiar with the different meats. But there is a John Morrell processing plant here in Sioux Falls, and I came across a garage sale that had a few John Morrell hats, this one, and a few other odd named different types of meat. And they're all like brand new, so I picked them up for 50 cents a piece. I've sold a couple of the John Morrell hats, and this one finally sold. It's probably been a year now, and it sold for $20. These are the feet off a Marantz Turntable. Now, I bought these on eBay for just $10. I thought they were way underpriced. I bought them for a turntable that I was selling, but I happened to sell the turntable before these arrived, and so I put them up for sale for 20 bucks a piece individually, because I thought somebody might just need one. And somebody made an offer of $55 for all 4 of them, and so I accepted that offer. And they're going out to 4 Barrel Coffee in San Francisco. Perhaps they entertain their clients with a nice Marantz turntable. This is a pair of disc rotors, hub disc assemblies that I bought with a bunch of other Ford auto parts. And these are for a Mustang 2. And they're brand new, open boxes. And I priced them each at $40, and the guy bought them both. Kind of a hefty charge for shipping, as they weigh about 25 pounds a piece. I think he paid about $50 for shipping.